bank accounts and our lives to get worse. So my friends, the question is not, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? It is, can you afford the next 4 years? Clearly, this election will affect so much more than I have spoken about in a positive or negative way. There is one clear choice for president that we must do and vote for. That one is the man who will bring prosperity to America. Now, I would love to tell you the man's name, but I won't be called partisan because I am American. And when I go into that voting booth, I will be voting for your future and for my future and for all of our descendants' futures. Yeah, it is that serious. And neither candidate is without issues that I don't agree with. I'm not in love with either candidate. I am in love with the United States of America. I am in love with liberty, with freedom, with the ability to go wherever I want in this country without being stopped by border crossings. This country is getting close to declaring semi-martial law. And in Helena, Arkansas, it was declared. In New Orleans, rights were denied when the hurricane happened. As we speak, the after effects of Hurricane Ike, there are some laws being thrown away and people are being ordered to do things or leave. Some are being arrested. This is not the American way. This is not life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I want to return to those values. I also want the ability to have all Americans be able to get health care. Whether it has to be a universal system or somehow defer payment till we get back on our feet. I want the financial institutions to be able to recoup their funding, but not by hurting the American people. And I don't feel that we should be bailing out American International Group, or AIG, at the expense of giving 10 million children health care. About a year ago, the president said we did not have $35 billion to pay for 10 million children's health care. Yet since then, we have spent close to $930 billion bailing out organizations, continuing wars, and other programs. So the question is, if we don't have $35 billion to help our fellow Americans, how is it that the American taxpayer can afford to put out $900 billion? These figures I didn't just pull out of a hat. Even yesterday, September the 16th, 2008, the federal government bailed out and paid $85 billion to save AIG and other companies. Now, they did that for AIG yesterday, but they have helped out other companies in the last 6 months. While still 10 million children go without health care at a price tag of $35 billion. How is it that we can pay $85 billion for AIG, but we can't pay $35 billion for 10 million of our children and for 10 million of our future? These are the questions you need to ask yourself, analyze, and decide which of the two candidates is better for president. I've made my choice based on information that I've collected. I made my choice on the candidate who will protect your freedom and restore the Constitution, restore Habeas Corpus, and not allow the Real ID Act, which will make it much easier for hackers to get all of your information. Make no mistake, if this Real ID Act comes into fruition, the card you carry around will have access to every penny you have in the bank, savings, bonds, you name it. They will be able to ascertain your medical records, everything, divorce, whatever. Whatever private information you have, this card will have access to it. And if you don't have this card, you won't be allowed to see your senators. You won't be able to open a bank account. You won't be able to have access to federal jobs and everything of the like. This is oppression. This is suppression. This is not what we've been fighting for in America. So, yes, I've done this conversation for far too long, but I am defending America. And one should note, in the background, you hear an ice cream truck, but that ice cream truck's music has Yankee Doodle Went to Town, a song that was sung and played during the Revolution. So maybe it's appropriate that this video has been distracted by the sounds of Yankee Doodle Went to Town. Maybe it's time for you to get to the voting polls and make sure that the memories of Washington and all who fought for freedom do not end up going in vain. That's what we vote for on November the 4th, 2008. We are voting for America's future. Since I flubbed that line, let me say it again. It wasn't a line, but what I said. We are voting for America's future, my friends. And there's only one candidate that cares about America's future. The other candidate purports to care, but he has consistently voted for civil liberty eroding laws. That's not being a patriot. That's being the opposite of being a patriot. But as that ice cream truck plays the song Yankee Doodle Went to Town, let us go to our towns. Let us go to our polls. And let's make sure that on November the 4th, 2008, we vote for America's future. Because again, as I said earlier, it really isn't, are you doing better off than you were 4 years ago? The question really is, will you be doing better off 4 years from now? And looking down further down the future, will your children be able to afford college? Will you be able to save any money for them? That's what we're voting for. Vote on November the 4th, 2008. And honestly, go to www.senate.gov. Look up these roll call votes. Look up the FISA vote. Look up the Military Commissions Act, or MCA. Look up the Patriot Acts. Look up the Real ID Act. Look at who voted for them and who voted against. Then, on November 4th, vote for the man who will protect your civil liberties. Vote for that man. Vote for America. Vote for me. Vote for you. Vote for your children. Vote for the worker who is working selling ice cream here at Shenley Park on September the 18th, 2008. Vote for America, my friends. That's the best way I can implore you to vote. Don't worry about political ideologies or parties. Vote for America. And in the meantime, I will ask you to vote and to remember that all of you and humanity really does matter. Good night. Please retain the freedom that this flag represents. Good morning. Good evening, everyone.